Hello and welcome to Old Ways Gardening and Prepping. My name is Teresa. I would like to welcome you into the kitchen this late evening where we're going to have a little fun using fresh, beautiful cherries. Well, trying to get the camera to focus, but fresh, beautiful cherries. So let's move the camera down. Okay, what I plan on doing is making old-fashioned maraschino cherries, also sweet cherry extract to use in cooking as well. Now, I've already practiced with my cherry pitter, which, however, put the cherry pits out over here on a paper towel, because you betcha I'm going to try to grow them. These are pitted cherries. So just I can do 6 at a time, which is great. Now, I'm going to be making 4 jars. I have a whole bunch of sweet cherries that I need to pit and get prepared to put in the jar. Yes, alcohol, folks. The bad part is, this is the crap that they're starting to sell now. 90.4. Needless to say, it was down to here, and the rest of this is 100 proof. So it should be right at 100 proof vodka, because these cherries are juicy, and I'm going to want to pickle them real good with the vodka. Now, what can you use with pickled or vodka soaked cherries? Oh my gracious. Old-fashioned pound pound cakes, yes, fruit cakes, desserts, cherry sauce. Now, remember, if you don't cook the cherries in a recipe, they will have plenty of alcohol in them. And I have 4 pint jars that I'm going to be making. Now, if you cook them, most of all the alcohol should evaporate out and you should be fine. Either or, I'm making some sweet cherry extract and some homemade maraschino cherries, or as they are well known, cherry bombs also. So, you want to destem them, use whatever cherry pitter you have. I like this one. Yeah, it takes a little longer for setup, but that's okay. I'm still going to use it. I've done a test run on it to make sure that it was working fine, and it did. And the pits come out of the bottom. Sometimes they hang on. 3 pits went through. 3 pits hung on. Now I'm going to save that juice underneath. And I will bring you back as soon as I get 4 jars full of cherries. See you after a while. I wanted to say something before I get too far along. Make sure that your workspace is clean and sanitized, that your cherries have been washed very well, and they need to be fresh cherries, not frozen, and also make sure that they are blemish free. And that was it. I just wanted to make sure that I reminded everybody, make sure jars, your funnel, your lids, everything, your cherry pitter, clean and sanitized. I'll bring you back. Okay, I am done. I have 4 jars. I fill them to just right at the shoulder. Maybe get another one right there. Now, back in the day, and still now, a lot of people use moonshine. I do 120 proof. 140 is going to really be too strong if you have to use moonshine. Nothing wrong with moonshine, but just make sure it's not too strong. Now these are dark sweet cherries. You can do sour cherries, whichever cherries you have. But like I said, these are fresh. A few were sacrificed for quality control. Had to make sure they tasted good. And temptation, yeah. I used about a bowl and a half of cherries. And now we're going to pour the vodka on top. Now you got to remember that they do have holes in them, so you're going to have to make sure that there's no air pockets. Oh, look at that dark color already. And yes, I'm going to fill it up as far as I can for now. Alright, once you're sure that those air pockets are full, fill your jar all the way up to the top of the rim. Put your lid on. Now, you're going to want to keep an eye on these because there's a good chance your vodka level, yes, will go down, or your moonshine level will go down because it's going to take a while for the insides of those cherries to fill up with alcohol so that there's no air bubbles. And I see a little air bubble right there, and it disappeared. And there's one right there, but that's a cherry pushed on it. Just keep an eye on it. Every day or two, you're going to want to spin them. You're going to want to make sure that your alcohol level doesn't go down. Make sure you keep it filled to the top of the rim. And yes, it's okay to reuse lids as long as you wash them very well. Because we're not going to be canning these at all. And I am so happy to have these. These are a true blessing because I know I can use these cherries as maraschino cherries because there's no red dye 40 in them and they're safe for me. And you'll see the bubbles come up. Okay, let's go to this jar. Liquid is still up. Make sure you clean them up real good. Okay, same thing goes for making any extract. If you have gout, you could use it as a tincture if you wanted to. Okay, sweet cherry extract. 825 23. Now, I know there's cherries in this jar. I'm not going to go pickled cherries. I'm going to go sweet cherry extract because I already know that there's cherries inside and it's going to be ready before holiday season gets here. And yeah, I'm going to have some cherries to cook with. Now, why you want to put the exact date on there when you do them? That way you know 8 weeks from this date, not before, not before the 8 weeks is up. 8 weeks from today, these cherries are going to be ready to use for extract. If you want to add a little oomph of cherry flavor into your cooking, uh, natural red food coloring as well. Now, me personally, I sometimes depends on what the cherries taste like. I might let them go a little longer. Excuse me. You don't want to jump the gun too early. These can be used, the extract can be used in cookies as long as you don't mind your cookies having a dark red color. Good old fashioned homemade fruit cake. Put in the center of, go on and cut them in half and put them in the center of thumbprint cookies instead of putting the jam in the center. Put half of a homemade maraschino cherry. Now, yes, you can make them in quart jars if you have that much alcohol. You can make them in quart jars, but 8 weeks from today, they will be ready. Now, what am I going to do with all these pits? I'm fixing to wash them real good, spread them out on another paper towel to dry, and I'm going to get ready to plant them, um, put them in a pot, and let them acclimate to the freezing temperatures. And I'm going to grow me some cherry trees. At least I'm going to try. Is there a guarantee that they'll germinate? Nope. But guess what? Is it going to hurt anything to try it? Not one bit. Simple, easy. Anybody can do this. Plus a squeaky tripod. Anybody can do this. All you need is alcohol the cherries, the jars, and the time to do it. Simple, easy, homemade, and you know exactly what's in it. And there's nothing artificial about these. I hope this encourages you to do the same and put back as much as you possibly can. Stock your pantries with food that will sustain and nourish you. Medicines that will heal you. Protection and the bare essentials. Everyone, I look forward to seeing you in my next video, and may you each be blessed. Hoot hoot! I'll see you soon.